Feet. Jesus is after healing the opinion you had of yourself, which was pretty low. Is that right? He's after lifting you right up there like I never saw. Because Martha didn't want to put her hand up for that reason, that she didn't want to draw attention to herself. How right am I about that? But Jesus went in and just lifted you over there. So now, I'm only paid for an hour, so it's like, is there anybody here from Cavan? Cavan in Ireland. Well, it has a reputation for being a bit tight with money. And the priest made an announcement after the Holy Communion, and he said, we're going to have a second collection at Mass this morning to make up for the shortfall in the first one. This is he who dares. When I have a row with Jesus, and I had 3 awful serious rows with him lately, and the first one was about 3 months ago, and I was really and truly at the end of my tether. And I had a prayer room at the back of the house, and I didn't even want to go up, and I was looking at Jesus with one eye. And I said, I'm only barely holding on. And he said, that's your problem, you're not supposed to hold on. You know, what's all this holding on about? When did you hear let go, let me? Let go, let God? Did you all hear that? How come I didn't hear it? Why didn't you ring me and tell me? He says, holding on. He says, that's a sign of your strength. Letting go is a sign of your trust. Did you ever see at the bottom of the Divine Mercy, hold on, Jim? Yeah. What's your name?
Reuben.
Reuben.
Yeah.
You're enjoying it.
I am.
And I had the other row, and I'm not making this up because, you know, despite all the guff out of me, I do go through some tough times. Thanks, Nora.
You should be married.
Now I know why I remembered her.
Christmas 2012.
So, last Wednesday week, I was supposed to come with a group that I put together, and Jerry was taking it over, and Paul Galvin is there, and I was going to stay for 2 weeks, and I was going to go with Jerry and come back with Paul on Wednesday this week, and my back went into spasm, and I was in a bad way. And I went to bed last Tuesday night, half afraid again, and I woke up, and I put my hand out for the lamp. I didn't want to move in case. And Jesus says, how are you? And I closed one eye again. I said, well, Jesus, under the circumstances, I said, I'm not too bad. That's your problem, he said. You're not supposed to be under circumstances. You're supposed to take authority over them. Didn't I give you a book of rules to take authority over the problem?
Amen.
He says, under the circumstances, I was out of bed. I thought he was going to use bad language on me. Because he was all, I never saw him as annoyed. 4 o'clock in the morning, I'll tell you one thing, I was out. And there was no circumstances. And I'm wondering, Jesus, are you going to make this up to me? Because I really intended coming for 2 weeks. I got a text message today from a girl in Kilkenny that's bringing 20 people on the 22nd. And she says, Dear Jim, apart from everything else that I'm not telling you, she says, I'm bringing 20 people from the 22nd to the 29th. Will you stay over in Medjugorje? We'll book your flight back with us and we'll look after you in the hotel. And she's also a physiotherapist. Under the circumstances we are. And she said, I heard you had a bad back. She says, I'll sort you out. And I'm looking forward to me back going bad again, so they'll have a reason to meet her. I'll give her circumstances. That's what Jesus said. You speak my authority over the circumstances. You don't go under them. You take authority over them. And he's telling me that a long time. So I don't get some things for a while. And I do my best, I have to say, but I'm slow sometimes. Sometimes. So I want to give you this prayer. And I want you to do it. Because what Jesus said to me, if you don't pray for everybody, it's not a prayer.
Amen.
It's a private selection box, like taking a box of milk tray and picking out the nice ones. I have no problem praying for people I don't know. There's never a day that my phone doesn't ring from people I don't know. And I have no problem praying for them. And I have no problem praying for those I like. I had to start praying for the person who hurt me most first. And I can tell you when we do that now, do you know the way sometimes if you're like me, your concentration will go when you're praying? When you have your hand on the forehead of the person who has hurt you the most, I promise you, you'll have absolutely zero distraction. Because Satan is outside and he's afraid to come in because he cannot handle that level of forgiveness. He can't take it. He can't handle it. He can't look at it. He's gone. But do you know the other thing that happens in heaven? Mary is there and she says, Jesus, look at that fella's beginning to pray for the person who broke his heart. And Jesus said, he got it at last. How was his back? The person who hurt me the most. And I started to consecrate myself to Jesus and Mary years ago. Do you know about the Christmas crucifixes? Well, every Christmas I used to bring down, and this Christmas there's 100,000 of these crucifixes going down to Vitska on Christmas for Christmas Day to be blessed by Jesus and his mother Mary. And you know what I used to bring as well, apart from religious articles? I always brought the diary for the following year and my mobile phone. And I'd leave them in Vitska's prayer room. And I'd say to Jesus and his mother, fill that diary for yourselves. You fill it up. I'm giving you it before anybody else puts it.